We're on the air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Horrible murder. Read all about it.
Good evening. Tonight, WBFR Playhouse of the Air and our sponsors present a story of suspense and mystery entitled Vintage Hitchcock. Each week, at this hour, we invade your living rooms, providing your radio holds up, and bring you exciting stories from the strange and unusual, dark and compelling yarns culled from the four corners of the world. Bringing murder back into the home, where it belongs. Oh dear, I see we won't be ready for another 60 seconds. However, thanks to our sponsor's remarkable foresight, we have a message that will fit in here nicely.
Have you been looking for a vacation spot that's tailor-made for good times? Experienced travelers prefer the Bates Motel for its special personality, quiet dignity, and friendly charm. This new, completely modern motel offers accommodations with the latest improvements, including insulated walls, metal furniture, box springs, Venetian blinds, carpeted floors, free radios, and parking directly in front of the 12 guest rooms. Pleasantly air-conditioned in summer and snugly heated in winter, each room features a private tiled bath and an abundance of hot water. Nothing old-fashioned, but the hospitality that even Mother would say is second to none. The Bates Motel is truly an experience you will treasure for the rest of your days. Just call for prompt teletype reservations. It's the Bates Motel, 12 rooms, 12 showers. You can wash your cares away.
This evening's tale begins with a murder, and then things get really serious and the danger begins. Now, before you get the wrong idea, let me make one thing clear. I abhor violence. That is why, on this program, we use stabbing, shooting, and garroting only when it is absolutely essential to the plot or when the whim strikes. Our play begins in a music hall, and the title is The 39 Steps. That's all I intend to tell you. You'll have to figure out the rest yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind attention and permission, I now have the honor to present to you one of the most remarkable men in the world, Mr. Memory. Every day he commits to memory 50 new facts. 50, ladies and gentlemen. Facts from history, geography, newspapers, and scientific books. Millions and millions of them, and he remembers them all. Test him, ladies and gentlemen, test him. Ask him any question you like, and he will answer you fully and freely, Mr. Memory.
Thank you.
A question, please. A question from anyone in the audience. Ladies first.
Where's my old man been since last Saturday?
On the booze. In jail.
Out with his mistress.
A serious question, please.
What won the Derby in 1921?
Mr. Jack Jules Humorist with Steve Donahue up, won by a length of odds 6-1. Second and third, Craig and Aaron and Laminora. Am I right, sir?
Right.
Thank you very much. Question, please. Do not hesitate. Another question, please.
What causes Pippin poultry? How many races state make the Miller win?
How old is Mae West?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Who was the last British heavyweight champion of the world? Henry VIII.
My old woman.
Bob Fitzsimmons. He defeated Jim Corbett, heavyweight champion of America at Carson City, Nevada in October 1897. He was then 34 years of age. Am I right, sir?
Right. What causes Pippin poultry? How many races state make the Miller win?
How old is Mae West?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Where's my old man been since last Saturday?
Madam, he's been where you can't ask him silly questions.
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
Miss Winnie who, sir?
How far is Winnipeg from Montreal?
A gentleman from Canada. You're welcome, sir. Winnipeg, the third city of Canada and the capital of Manitoba. Distance from Montreal, 1,710 miles. Am I right?
Quite right.
What causes Pippin poultry?
How many races did make the Miller win?
How old is Mae West?
Gentlemen, please, you're not at home. Oh, for God's sakes, play something.
Let me out of here!
Let the lady through. Stand back, please. Take hold of my arm, miss. I'll get you out of this. Step back. Clear the aisles. This way. There you are, miss. Take a good deep breath.
Thank you.
You all right?
Yes, I think so. I had to get out of theater, that's all.
A lot of people had that idea.
It wasn't the it wasn't the panic that frightened me. It was something else.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'm in terrible trouble. Will you help me?
What kind of trouble?
I can't tell you here. Can we go someplace and talk?
Well, my flat is nearby.
May I come home with you?
It's your funeral. Come on, there's a bus. Go on in, miss.
Thank you.
Now, if I could only find that light switch.
Oh no! Don't turn on the lights. It will be safer.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Will you pull down the blinds, please?
Very well. Well, now, this just puts me doubly in the dark. My name's Richard Dene. Any objections to telling me yours?
No, it's Smith. Annabella Smith.
Smith? Really?
Is there anything wrong with it?
No, it's just an unusual name.
Do you want to know more about me? What do you think I do for a living?
Actress?
Not in the way you mean.
Chorus.
Certainly not. I'm a freelance.
Out for an adventure, huh?
That's right. Don't answer the telephone.
Why not?
Because I think it's for me. Please don't answer.
Say, what is this all about? You said you were in trouble.
You don't believe me, do you?
I believe you're slightly hysterical.
If I am, I have a good reason. I was the one who fired the gunshots in the theater tonight.
You? Why?
To create a diversion, I had to get out of the theater quickly. There were 2 men in there who wanted to kill me.
You should be more careful about choosing your gentleman friends then.
You've got to believe me.
Why should anyone want to kill you?
You wouldn't understand.
Well, you're not making it easy for me. A beautiful, mysterious woman pursued by gunmen? It sounds like a spy story.
That's exactly what it is. Only, I prefer the word agent.
Agent? For what country?
Any country that pays me.
Well, what is your country?
I have no country.
Born in a balloon. I suppose you've come here to dig up some great big state secret.
No, I'm here to save a secret. A very important secret for this country. Not because I love England, but because it pays me better. The very brilliant agent of a certain foreign power is on to the point of obtaining a secret vital to your air defense. I tracked 2 of his men to the music hall. Unfortunately, they followed me. That's why they're after me now.
You ever heard of this thing called persecution mania?
You've got to believe me.
Well, frankly, I don't, Annabella.
Very well. If you look out of the window, you will see 2 men standing across the street. I'd hope I'd shaken them off. Look, please do.
All right, I'll play your game a bit further.
Oh, don't let them see you. Well?
By Jove, you're right. There seems to be 2 of them. They look like they're looking up here.
Come away from the window, please. Do you believe me now?
I suppose I must.
I'm going to tell you something which is not very healthy to know. But now that they have followed me here, you're in it as much as I am.
So it seems.
Have you ever heard of the 39 Steps?
No. Is it a pub?
Never mind. But this much you must know. What you were laughing at is true. These men are ruthless, and I'm the only person who can stop them. If they are not stopped, it's only a matter of days, perhaps hours, before the seeker is out of the country.
Why don't you phone the police then?
Because they wouldn't believe me any more than you did. And how long do you think it would take to get them going? These men act quickly. You don't know how clever the chief is. Clever and merciless.
What's his name?
The chief goes by a dozen names and can look like 100 people. But there's one thing he cannot disguise. The top part of his little finger on his right hand is missing. If ever you should meet a man with no top joint, well, be very careful, my friend.
Thanks. I'll be sure to make a note of it. Meanwhile, what are you going to do?
I'm frightened.
Well, you needn't be. What you do need is a good night's rest.
Oh, yes, I do.
You're welcome to my bed. I'll get a shakedown on the couch.
Are you sure you don't mind?
Sleeping on the couch? I've done it over a dozen times.
No, I mean being in danger.
I'm not convinced of that yet. Now, is there anything else I could get you?
Yes. Have you a map of Scotland, please?
A map of Scotland. I have an atlas over here somewhere. Oh, yes, here it is. Are you going hiking or just deer stalking?
There's a man in Scotland who I must visit if anything next is to be done.
I see. Is that where the 39 steps are?
Perhaps I'll tell you tomorrow. Good night, Mr. Hannay.
Good night, Annabella. Pleasant dreams. Annabella? Annabella, was that you? Annabella, open that door! Annabella, will you open that door or do I have to break it down? Annabella, where are you?
Oh,
What's the matter?
They came through the window. One of them had a knife.
Annabella, you're bleeding. I'll call a doctor. It's dead.
You've got to stop those men. In a few days, they'll have the secret out of the country.
But how will I stop them?
Kinrich, Professor, Scotland.
What's there? Who is this professor?
They'll get you, like they did me.
Annabella!
Aberdeen Express. Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Kinrich, and Fort William. All aboard.
A ticket for Kinrich, please.
One, sir.
Yes, one. And hurry, please.
One ticket to Kiski Scotland. Here you are, sir.
All aboard.
Excuse me, is this seat taken?
Not by us, it ain't. Sit down, young fellow.
Thank you.
Papers, magazines, chocolates, cigarettes. I wonder what won the 2 o'clock at Windsor.
I don't know. Let's get a paper.
Paper. Please, the dispatch.
What one?
Basher Bud, 7 to 4 odds.
Good. Not so good.
Hello. Look at this. Woman murdered in West End flat.
These sex dramas don't appeal to me.
Portland Mansions. Portland Place.
By the BBC. That's a nice quiet place to put someone to sleep. What was she like? One of the usual? Another dizzy blonde?
A well-dressed woman of about 25 found with a knife in her back. The tenant, Richard Hannay, is missing. The police are hot on the trail and watching with careful eye all points of departure from London.
So that's what they were doing, eh?
Who?
Scotland Yard. Those bubbies. I see them go on this train. Ask them plenty of questions, they would too.
Oh, looky here. There's a picture of that Hannay chap.
Let's have a squint at him. Rough-looking lot, ain't he?
Excuse me.
Say, young fellow, where are you going? Don't you like that seat?
I do, thank you. But, I just remembered something.
In a bit of a hurry, wasn't he?
Excuse me, miss, but I have to do this.
Nothing in here, Chief, except the man and his girl.
Let's go down to the end and we'll double back.
I'm not accustomed to strange men barging into my compartment, let alone kissing me.
I assure you, miss, that I'm no stranger than most, and kissing you, it was just my way of hiding, not introducing myself. But I'm afraid they might be back, and I might have to do it again.
Really? Well, I'm not interested. Now, will you please go?
I can't.
What? Why not?
It isn't safe.
Listen to me. Are you going, or shall I have to call the conductor?
Oh, no, don't do that. I just want your help. You see, my name is Richard Hannay.
Hannay? Why, you're the man the police are looking for.
Yes, but I'm innocent, I swear. Listen, you've got to help me. It's terribly important that I remain free for the next few days. Oh, you will help me, won't you?
Yes, of course I will.
Oh, that's fine.
You say the police are on this train looking for you?
Yes, that's why I had to force my way in here.
And just how am I supposed to help you?
They're looking for a man traveling alone. If I stay here with you, they'll think we're together and just pass us by.
Ah, how clever you are.
You'll do it?
Yes, of course.
You're all right. What's your name?
I'm Pamela Stewart.
Pamela. That's rather pretty. It suits you.
Thank you.
Oh, there they are now. Remember, I'll just sit here and pretend to read. You do the talking.
All right. Come in.
Excuse me, have either of you seen a man pass in here the last few minutes? Young fellow, smooth-shaven?
Why, no. Wait, are you the police?
That's right, miss.
This is the man you want. He barged his way in here and told me his name is Richard Hannay.
Why?
Come here, you.
Let go of me.
Are you Richard Hannay?
Well, speak up.
Yes, and thank you very much, Miss Stewart.
Well, you didn't expect me to harbor a murderer, did you?
I'm not a murderer, and I'd hoped you might have given me the chance to prove that.
We'll see about that. Come on, Hannay.
Certainly, gentlemen. I'll go with you willingly. In fact, I'll lead the way.
Grab him.
Open that door.
He's holding it from the other side.
Here, let me try.
Together now. 1, 2, 3.
Where is he?
Where did he go?
There he is, down the passageway.
Come back here. Stop. Stop.
Have you got him?
He jumped. He jumped off the train.
Well, he's probably lying dead in a ditch.
No. The last I saw of him, he was on his 2 feet and running like a rabbit.
Hannay escapes. Paper. Hannay escapes. Paper. Extra special. Hannay escapes from police. Paper. Extra extra. Paper.
2 days have passed, and Richard Hannay, wanted for a murder he did not commit, is still at large. Determined to discover the secret of the 39 steps, he's made his way to Scotland. The driver of a donkey cart is giving him a lift, and he's now on his last leg of the journey, the outskirts of the village of Old Knot Shallock.
Are you gonna stay long and not nonchalant, laddie?
Well, that all depends. I'm looking for work. You suppose I could find something?
I have my doubts, laddie. I'm nonchalant at a mighty small village. What do you do?
I'm a chauffeur.
Well, I think you better try somewhere else then.
Oh, I see. What? Aren't there any newcomers who might need a chauffeur?
Now wait a minute. I come to think of it. I did hear of something. About a retired professor who lived in a big house on the edge of the moors.
A professor? Yes, that's it. I can try it anyhow.
Yes, sir?
I'd like to see the master, please.
And what name shall I say, sir?
He wouldn't know my name. You might ask him if he knows a Miss Annabella Smith.
Yes, sir.
Is that someone for me, George?
Oh, yes, Professor.
How do you do?
Oh, how do you do? My name is Hammond. I've come from London, from Annabella Smith.
Oh, well, do come in, please. You must be tired. We can talk in the library.
Yes, of course.
Go right in, please.
Oh, thank you.
Sit down. Will you have a drink?
No, thank you.
Well, now, what did you want to see me about, Mr. Hannay?
Hannay? You know me?
Yes, I suppose it's safe to call you by your right name now. What about our mutual friend, Annabella?
She's been murdered.
I know. Poor girl. The police are looking for you.
Yes, but I didn't do it.
Oh, of course you didn't. But why come all this way to Scotland to tell me about it?
I believe she hoped to come see you about some air ministry secret. She was killed by a foreign agent who was trying to steal it.
Did she tell you what this foreign agent looked like, Mr. Hannay?
Only one thing. She told me that the top of his little finger was missing.
On which hand, Mr. Hannay?
On the left, I believe.
Are you sure it wasn't on the right?
You know, it might have been.
Like on my hand, Mr. Hannay.
It's you! You're
the one she was trying to warn you against. The chief. You misunderstood her. She meant for you to kill me, not bring me information.
Oh. What are we gonna do about it?
That's just the point. What are we going to do? You see, I live here as a respectable citizen. You must realize my whole existence would be jeopardized if it became known that I'm not what I seem. You understand my position, surely?
Yes, quite.
Mr. Hannay, why have you come here? Why have you forced me into this difficult position? I can't lock you up in a room or anything like that. There's my wife and my daughters to think about. And what makes it doubly important that I shouldn't let you go is that I'm just about to transfer some very vital information out of the country.
What?
Oh, yes, I've got it already. I'm afraid poor Annabella would have been too late in any case.
Well, that's that, I suppose.
If only it were that simple. But it seems to me that we have some unfinished business to attend to.
And what's that?
I have a small revolver here. Pretty little thing, isn't it? Suppose I left you alone with this. Tomorrow's newspapers could then announce that the Portland Place murderer had taken his own life.
You want me to kill myself? You're mad. I won't do it.
Then I'm afraid you've left me with no alternative. You should have stayed in London, my friend. Oh, George. George.
Yes, Professor?
I want your help, please. There's a little job for us inside. We'll carry an A to the garage, and when it gets dark, we can take him off to the road somewhere.
Where is he, sir?
Behind the table.
Here, sir?
Yes, pick him up and...
I'm sorry, sir, but there's no one here.
What?
You can see for yourself.
Why? I shot him. The body was lying there on the floor.
The body, sir, seems to have disappeared.
Get out of the road, please. What do you mean by standing in front of my car? You might have been killed.
Well, sorry, lady. I just want to lift. Would you... Well, Pamela Stewart. How do you do?
You? What are you doing here?
Richard Hannay is my name. I believe we've met. On a train, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
And, if I remember correctly, you handed me over to the police. Didn't you?
Oh, get away from me.
Oh, don't worry. I won't hold it against you.
That's very kind of you.
What are you doing in Altnashalok?
I live here?
It's a charming place, isn't it? Do you know where the local police station is?
Of course I do.
Well, take me there. And hurry, please.
Well, I suppose you know what you're doing.
Oh, yes, you see? I know who killed Annabella Smith.
Is that so?
The same man who shot me just a few minutes ago.
Shot you? Where?
Right in the cigarette case, you see? There's a hole in one side of it. Funny little thing, cigarette cases. If I hadn't been carrying it around in my breast pocket, the hole would have been in my chest. And to think it was just last week I was trying to quit.
Just who was this arch villain?
A gentleman called the Professor.
Oh, you don't mean Professor Bartlett?
I didn't stop to inquire his last name.
Oh.
Well, come on now, it isn't that funny.
Do you actually mean you're going to the police with this story? That Professor Bartlett killed you, that he's the one who killed the woman you're accused of killing?
Well, of course, why not?
And you expect them to believe it, I suppose?
Well, you don't evidently.
No, and neither will they. Professor Bartlett, a murderer. Why, he's one of the best-liked men in the whole village, and a very good friend of the sheriff's. I'm sure the sheriff will be interested in your story.
Oh, yes, I see your point. It hadn't occurred to me. You know, can you stop the car, please? I'm just gonna get out.
Oh, no, you're not. You said you wanted to go to the police. Well, that's just where you're going. And if you touch me or make a move to jump out, I'll turn this car into a ditch.
Well, aren't you the sweetest little thing?
Now you just sit tight, Mr. Hannay, and don't make any sudden gestures. We're going rather fast.
You haven't the nerve, of course.
Haven't I? Just try me.
All right, I will.
Don't touch that brake!
Hang on! Where are you? Are you all right?
Quite all right. Thank you.
You little fool. Why did you swear? We might have been killed.
Hello there.
There's someone coming. Keep down.
Go of me. Hello? Hello? Over here? Richard Hannay.
Why you?
Grab that man.
All right, Hannay, we've got you. And don't try any funny business.
Stand up.
Oh, yes, of course.
Are you the police?
We've been looking for you.
Put the handcuffs on. One on him and the other on the girl.
Hey, what are you doing?
We're handcuffing you to your friend over here.
Now you see what you've done?
Listen, you can't do this. I don't even know this man.
Get in the car, the both of you.
Will you please move over?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I am. Ow! My wrist!
You asked me to move, and if I move, you move with me. It's a scientific fact that when two people are handcuffed together...
Officer, must I be chained to this man?
Aye, you must, and keep quiet about it.
Wait a moment. Where are you taking us? This isn't the way to the sheriff's office.
Just don't worry yourself about where we're going.
It's the real head we're going to see. The chief.
Would you like to have a small bet with me, Pamela Stewart?
All right, I'll have it with you, Sherlock.
I'll lay to you 100 to 1 that the man they call the chief has the top joint of his little finger missing. Am I right, gentlemen?
You shut your mouth or we'll shut it for you.
You see, Pamela, I win. They're taking us to your charming old friend, the professor.
Hey, what are we stopping for?
Whole flock of sheep are crossing the road.
Blow the horn. Maybe that'll...
Nothing gives. They won't move an inch. Oh, come on, we'll have to get out and shoot them off.
Now's our chance. We'll make a run for it. When I say jump, jump and run for your life.
But suppose they catch us.
Come on, jump!
Hey, look, they're getting away.
There they go. Give it to them.
They're shooting at us!
Come on, run for it!
Please, don't run so fast. You're hurting my wrist. I can't go any further. I've lost my shoe.
There are 20 million women on this island, and I'm chained to you? All right, fine then. Go ahead, have a rest.
Have we lost those men?
It's pitch is black on this moor. They'll never find us now.
You know, this is all very silly. You can't escape. What chance have you got handcuffed to me?
Keep that question for your husband if you get one.
Oh, why don't you give yourself up?
To whom?
To Scotland Yard.
Thank you, but it's a little impractical at the moment. I told you the truth on the train, and I'm telling it to you now. There's a dangerous conspiracy against this country, and I'm the only man who can stop it. They were taking us to their boss, and God help us if they ever catch us again.
I see. You're still sticking to your penny dreadful spy story.
All right, very well then. I'm just a plain, common murderer who stabbed an innocent, defenseless woman in Portland Place, London. I don't know how innocent you may be, but you're a woman, you're defenseless, and you're alone on a desolate moor with a murderer who'd stop at nothing to get you off of his hands. If that's the situation you'd prefer, have it, my lovely, and welcome.
Well, I'm not afraid of you.
Why not? For all you know, I murder a woman a week. So listen to a bit of advice. Do everything I tell you and do it quick.
You big bully.
Gesundheit. I like your pluck, but you keep a civil tongue in your head, otherwise I might feel my next killing was a bit overdue. All right, on your feet now.
Where are we going?
I see some lights over that way. We'll do a little investigating.
What kind of a place do you think this is?
Well, I don't know. It looks like an inn. Now remember to back me up on everything I say or do. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now stay close to me and hold my hand. It'll hide the handcuffs. Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome to the King's Head Tavern. And what can I do for you and the lady?
We had an accident with our car a few miles back.
That's too bad now. You want to stay the night, I suppose?
Yes, we do.
Will it be 2 rooms or 1?
2 separate rooms.
One room. Just one, please.
Well, which?
1. Thank you.
1, and what's the name?
Hawkinson. Henry Hawkinson and Mrs. Hawkinson.
Well, come along, Mr. and Mr. Hawkinson. The room is at the top of the landing.
Nice place you have here.
Thank you. Here's the room.
Thanks very much.
Well, good night to you.
Oh, wait. Please, you mustn't go.
What's the matter? Is there anything wrong?
Yes, well,
Of course! Of course there's nothing wrong. She just wants to ask you something, that's all.
Yes, I want to know if...
Oh, you see, we're a runaway couple.
Are you now?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we've been running all night. You wouldn't give us up to anyone, would you?
Of course not. I was young myself once. Good night.
Good night. Oh, I'm sorry, Pamela.
Of all the outrageous things, listen, you don't expect I'm going to spend the night in this room with you?
Well, personally, I don't see how you have a choice.
I didn't ask to come with you.
And I didn't invite you, but here we are.
Well, aren't you afraid those men will find us?
I'm not thinking of that so much as how to get out of these handcuffs.
Oh, I have a nail file in my pocket. Maybe that'll help.
That would be dandy. If you filed 24 hours a day, 10 years from now, we might be free. Imagine, tied to you for 10 years? That's a horrible thought.
I've had enough of your insults. I'm going to tell the innkeeper the whole story.
You want me to hang for a murder I didn't commit?
As long as you hang, I don't care whether you committed it or not.
What a bloodthirsty creature you are. Haven't you any pity?
Nope.
Ow! What are you up to now?
I'm trying to follow the handcuffs.
Well, don't jab me in the wrist that way. I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
You're going about it in a very amateurish fashion anyways. I can tell you don't know the first thing about filing handcuffs.
At least I'm trying to do something.
Well, if you don't mind, I think I'm gonna get some sleep. I haven't had a wink in 48 hours.
Well, I'm not in the least bit tired.
You don't mind if I stretch out in this chair, do you?
Not at all.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, but I don't see how you can sleep at a time like this.
Watch me.
Listen, did you hear that? There's a car out there. It just drove up.
It's your imagination.
It was not my imagination. I heard a car. Well, all right, if you don't care.
I don't care. I just don't care.
It's early the following morning. Richard Hannay stirs restlessly in the armchair, rubbing his sleepy eyes. Suddenly, he jumps up from the chair, staring down at the handcuffs now dangling from his wrist. Pamela Stewart has freed herself and sits across the room.
Good morning, Mr. Hawkinson.
How did you get free?
Oh, very simple. A little work while you had your beauty sleep.
I suppose you filed the handcuffs?
No, I picked the lock. I was trying to do the same for you, but the file broke.
Say, what's wrong with you? Why are you being so nice? You don't feel ill or anything, do you?
No, why should I?
Well, why didn't you leave? You were very anxious to last night, if I remember correctly.
Well, something happened last night that convinced me that you've been telling the truth. When I got free, I went downstairs. That car you said I imagined belonged to our pursuers. They were sitting downstairs when I got there.
Did they see you?
No, I hid behind the counter. They asked the innkeeper about us.
What did he say?
He said he hadn't seen us. Then they ordered something to eat. And while they were eating, they talked a lot about the 39 steps.
The 39 steps?
And don't ask me what it means because I don't know. But they said the professor was clearing out of the country.
Well, then he's got the secrets. Did they say how soon he was leaving?
No, but they did say that he was going to London to pick someone up from a music hall.
The 39 steps? London Music Hall? It doesn't make any sense. Which room are these men in?
Oh, they left about 4 or 5 hours ago.
What? You let them go after hearing what they said? 4 or 5 precious hours wasted! Oh, you button-headed little idiot.
Don't you speak to me like that.
My dear girl, I'm accused of murder, and the only way I can clear myself is to expose those spies.
Then why don't you go to Scotland Yard?
What's the use? You said so yourself. They wouldn't believe me.
Then why don't I go to Scotland Yard?
Why not? They might listen to you.
Of course they would.
Well, come on. We'll get the next train for London.
You wish to order now, sir?
No, thank you. I'm waiting for someone.
I beg your pardon. Sir, but your face looks familiar. Are you someone famous?
Oh, no, I'm not. Could you just bring me a bottle of ale, please?
Very good.
Make that two, please.
Yes, miss.
Pamela, sit down. What happened? Did you go to Scotland Yard?
Yes, and prepare yourself for a shock. They checked every possible channel, but the Air Ministry is positive that no papers are missing that would be of any interest to spies.
That's incredible. Are you sure?
Well, that's exactly what they said.
Oh, I don't know what to make of it.
I think you've been tricked.
It is certainly very bewildering.
Oh, I'm sorry, Richard. Really, I am. Look, I think you'd better go now.
Well, go where?
Any place. Leave the country. I'll help you. Oh, I know it sounds funny, but I somehow couldn't bear the thought of them catching you again.
Why, Pamela?
I guess I just changed my mind about you, that's all. I suppose you're as vain as a peacock, and I couldn't stand you for any length of time, but you're something else.
Well, you know, if we weren't in this jam, I'd...
What?
Nothing. What's that tune you're singing?
That silly one of yours. Must have picked it up.
Wait a minute. Pamela, you're brilliant.
Me? What did I do?
Oh, that tune. Now I remember where I've heard it before. And I know where we have to go.
Where?
Follow me.
Here are your seats, sir. First two on the aisle.
Thank you. Sit down, Pamela.
This is silly. The show's almost over.
Be quiet. I'm just playing a hunch, that's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind permission and attention, I now have the honor to present to you one of the most remarkable men in the world. I present Mr. Memory.
Pamela, look in that box to the right of the stage. You see that tall man? It's the professor himself.
You gotta get out of here before they see you.
No, sit down. Listen.
Every day he commits to memory 50 new facts, and he remembers every one of them. Facts from history, from geography, from newspapers and scientific fact books.
Pamela, I've got it.
Got what?
Of course there are no papers missing. All the information's inside Mr. Memory's head.
I still don't understand.
Don't you see? The details of the Air Ministry secret were borrowed, memorized by this man, and then replaced before anyone could find out. That's why the professor's here, to take Mr. Memory out of the country after the show.
When did Florence Nightingale die?
How tall is the Empire State Building?
How old is Mae West? Pardon me, sir, but there's some gentleman to speak to you.
Who, me?
Are you Richard Hannay?
Well,
You're under arrest.
Wait, officer, look. There's something you ought to know.
Come along quietly.
But that man on the stage.
Don't cause any trouble and spoil people's entertainment, okay?
Question, please. Do not hesitate.
Wait a minute. Mr. Memory, what are the 39 steps? Come on, answer up. What are the 39 steps?
The 39 Steps is an organization of spies collecting information on behalf of the Foreign Office.
It's that man. It's that man to the right of the stage. Stop that man.
Stop that man! Stop him!
Keep your seats, please. There's no need for alarm, no cause for alarm. Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor?
I want to see Mr. Memory, please. Where's his dressing room?
Number 5, but you can't go in now.
I'm afraid we have to. Detective, have you a pencil and a piece of paper?
Yes.
I want you to write down everything you hear.
Now, listen here. I don't know what...
Do as he tells you, please.
I'm going to prove to you that the man who shot Mr. Memory is the same one who murdered that woman I'm accused of killing.
What is it?
We want to see Mr. Memory. How is he, Doc?
Pretty bad. Did they get the man who shot him?
We got him all right. What's this all about?
Oh,
Mr. Memory? Can you hear me?
yes,
Mr. Memory, there's something I'd like you to tell us, please.
yes.
What was that secret formula you were taking abroad?
Would it be all right, me telling you, sir? It was a big job to learn it. The biggest job I ever tackled. I don't want to throw it all away.
It'll be quite all right.
The first feature of the new engine is its greatly increased ratio of compression, represented by R minus R to the power of gamma, where R represents the ratio of compression and gamma. Seen in end elevation that acts as two lines of cylinders. This device renders the engine completely silent. Am I right, sir?
Quite right, old chap.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm glad it's off my mind at last.
This way, please. We can pick up the police car on the corner.
The police car? Where are you taking us?
The Scotland Yard, of course.
The Scotland Yard?
But you can't do that. You heard what that man said. He didn't kill anybody.
Easy now, easy. He'll be all right. All we want to do is put the record on the story.
Oh.
Oh, that's better.
Nothing to worry about. He'll be a free man within the hour, Mrs. Hannay.
Mrs. Hannay? What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, I thought...
Mrs. Hannay. Oh, that'd be just fine, that would. We were together for one day and we fought 24 hours.
20. You were asleep 4 hours.
Could you imagine what it would be like? A fight for breakfast, a fight for lunch, oh, and a fight for dinner. One long, drawn-out battle for the next 30 or 40 years.
40 years? Do you think we could even keep it up that long? I mean, really.
Well, we could try.
You will be relieved to hear that Pamela and Hannay's story ended happily. They did not get married. And that concludes WBFR Playhouse of the Air's presentation of Vintage Hitchcock, our offering for tonight. But I have not yet reached the end of my rope. Next week, you will hear from me again without a shadow of a doubt. Put your suspicion to rest and join us each and every week for what I assure you will be something rich and strange that will leave you spellbound. Until next time, good evening.